Hi, good morning. Now about metatarsus. The metatarsus is made up of five metatarsal bones which are membered from the medial to lateral side. Each metatarsal is a miniature long bone and has a shaft and a base of proximal end and a head or dorsal end. The shaft is slightly convex dorsally and concave ventrally. In its longitudinal axis, it is prismoid in form and tapers from the base to the head. The base or proximal end is set obliquely in such a way that it projects backwards and laterally. The head or distal end is flattened from side to side. Meta Metatarsals versus metacarpals. The metatarsals are quite similar to metacarpals. For the difference between the two is uh, later we will see the difference. Now metatarsus side determination. Determination of the side of the metatarsal bone is as follows. The base of metatarsals are set obliquely so that the deeper edge is directed backward and laterally. Next, the side of the first metatarsal bone can be found out by examining the kidney shaped facet on the base, the hilum of which is directed laterally. Identification. First metatarsal. This is the shortest, thickest and stoutest of all metatarsal bones and is adapted for transmission of the body weight. The proximal surface of the base has a kidney-shaped facet which is concave outwards. Second metatarsal. This is the longest metatarsal. It has a wedge-shaped base. The lateral side of the base has two articular facets, a larger dorsal and smaller plantar, each of the which is subdivided into a proximal part for the lateral cuneiform bone and a distal part of the third metatarsal. The medial side of the base bears one facet placed dorsally for the medial cuneiform. Third metatarsal. The lateral side of the base has one facet placed dorsally for the fourth metatarsal bone. The medial side of the base has two facets, dorsal and plantar, for the second metatarsal bone. Fourth metatarsal bone. The proximal surface of the base is quadrangular. It articulates with the cuboid bone. The lateral side of the base has one facet placed dorsally for the fifth metatarsal bone. The medial side of the base has one facet placed dorsally which is subdivided into proximal part for the lateral cuneiform and distal part of the third metatarsal bone. Fifth metatarsal. The lateral side of the base has large tuberosity or styloid processes projecting backward and laterally. The medial side of the base has one facet for the fourth metatarsal bone. The plantar surface of base is grooved by the tendon of the abductor digiti minimi. Important attachment to the metatarsal bone. A part of the tibialis anterior is inserted on the medial side of the base of the first metatarsal bone. The greater part of the peroneus longus is inserted on a large impression at the inferior angle of the lateral surface of the base of the first metatarsal bone. The peroneus brevis is inserted on the dorsal surface of the tuberosity of the fifth metatarsal bone. The peroneus tertius. The peroneus tertius is inserted on the middle part of the dorsal surface of the base and medial border of the shaft of the fifth metatarsal bone. The flexor digiti minimi brevis arises from the plantar surface of the base of the fifth metatarsal bone. The shaft of metatarsal bone gives origin to the interossei ossification. Each metatarsal bone ossifies from one primary and one secondary center. The primary center appears in the shaft during the 10th week of the fetal life in the first metatarsal and during the 9th week of the fetal life in the rest of the metatarsals. A secondary center appears for the base of the first metatarsal during the 3rd year and for the head of the other metatarsal between 3 and 4 years. All secondary centers unite with the shaft by 18th year. A separate center for the tuberosity of the fifth metatarsal bone may be present. This is about metatarsus. Okay, thank you.